In 1973, the world saw the creation of the Materials Research Society. In the 50 years since, the field has seen incredible advancements. So many researchers have left their mark on the materials world, and subsequently, society at large. As time has gone on, the community has only grown larger, more diverse, and more amazing. Just like every year, thousands of materials scientists and engineers are back in Boston for the 2023 MRS Fall Meeting. Only this year, they're also here to celebrate 50 fantastic years of innovation and inspiration in the fields. Hi, I'm Katie Brace, your host for the 2023 fall season of MRS TV. We're here once again to bring you meeting highlights, exclusive interviews, and much, much more. In today's episode, we're learning about MRS's reach across the globe. We're sitting down with MRS President Sabrina Sartori to reflect on her year in office, 50 years of MRS, and what the future holds. Then we'll hear from leaders in African MRS about the value in collaboration across continents. And after that, we'll learn all about JUAMI, a global immersive program in materials science. Plus, we'll kick off a tour of some of the world's top institutions in materials research. We'll hear about their work at the forefront of the fields. But first, we'll hear from our 2023 Fall Meeting chairs to find out how you can celebrate MRS's 50th anniversary. Plus, they'll point out which sessions you won't want to miss.
I must say that the organization of this meeting is a huge work that has been mainly done by the MRS staff. And we were kindly integrated in this preparation by doing the scientific content.
I got to really see a lot of the behind-the-scenes work that it took to get this meeting together. And the main takeaway I got was that how important the community is, the volunteers are, the MRS staff is, in the success of this meeting, and vice versa, how important this meeting is for the community. And for that, I feel really grateful to be just part of it.
I recommend to go to the plenary speaker, and in particular the one that is in my topic, which means that Takashi Taniguchi from National Institute of Material Science in Japan, he is working on growth of semiconductor, ultra-wideband gap semiconductor, and he is working to do some very hard material like boron nitride and diamond.
I think that, like, for example, for a lot of the DEI programming is really important. There's the Women's in Material Science and Engineering keynote breakfast Tuesday morning. There's also, for early career development, there's the How to Craft a DEI Statement session. It's going to be really important to go to, I feel.
All throughout this week, we'll be highlighting top institutions in materials science. Today, we're honing in on research centers outside the United States. First up, let's head to Qatar, where corrosion is one of the nation's most significant challenges. Hamad bin Khalifa University's Corrosion Research Center is leading the charge in mitigating this threat.
The corrosion challenges in Qatar are very unique. Atmospheric corrosion, soil corrosion, any interaction between the environmental condition and the material results in high corrosion. The idea of creating the Corrosion Center was mainly for us to be a link between research and academia and the industry. So all the projects that are conducted at the Corrosion Center are industry demand-driven projects where we are working on real-world problems.
We are very well equipped with the state-of-the-art characterization and analytical tools to perform in situ and also in operando corrosion process in large scale and realistic conditions. We have combination of multidisciplinary expertise which are all focused on corrosion science, and that's what's empowering us at CRC.
Joining me now is 2023 MRS President Sabrina Sartori. Thanks so much for joining us, Sabrina.
Thank you for having me.
So what have been some of the highlights of being the MRS President in its 50th anniversary year?
So this year has been an opportunity to reflect on how the society has been evolving during these first 50 years, but still remaining true to the core idea of the founders, that is to be an interdisciplinary societies and international societies. We have been renewing some memorandum of understanding, and this has been very interesting for me as well. And not least the work we have been doing and the interaction with so many volunteers and staff, which all are so talented and passionate. This has been really a great highlight.
And you mentioned how the society is evolving. How is this meeting touching back on the last 50 years? How the advancements, how are they reflected?
You can see not only intersection of disciplines, but also merging of disciplines. For example, there is a symposium touching upon the use of machine learning to control physical instruments, not only to analyze data faster, and also intersection between materials and society. In a broader impact symposium, we are going to discuss about energy justice.
And picking up on that, how has the MRS diversity, equity, and inclusion aspiration been part of this growth?
During the course of the year, we expanded many of the programs already existing, and also promoting new events regarding DEI. We have a lot of events also during the meetings which address our underrepresented ethnic minority students. And not least next year you will see that both in the spring and fall meeting we will have chairs coming from Africa.
And how do you see those collaborations with groups like African MRS continue to evolve even under a different president's leadership?
My hope is to see the consolidation of this kind of workshop and webinars, which, for instance, we are organizing with the African MRS. But I also hope there will be a long-term vision which will enable us to involve a high-level discussion with at institutional level. And I also hope we will see more and more MRS events hosted in other societies as well.
All right, well, Sabrina Sartori, the 2023 MRS President, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us.
Thank you, and enjoy the week.
MRS offers a free one-year dues renewal option for recent doctoral graduates. This offer, available only once per member, is designed to support our next generation of researchers as they transition from student to career professionals, and will include all benefits and advantages of MRS membership. The next membership cycle begins January 1st. Check your inbox. Details will be sent by email to those who are eligible.
Dive deeper into key materials areas with MRS virtual workshops. Use the QR code on this slide to see our list of collaborative workshops planned for 2024, or visit mrs.org/virtual workshops.
Donate to the causes you care about. The MRS Foundation supports diversity and inclusion projects and programming, early career and student programs, JMR prizes, and more. Every donor is important, and every gift makes an impact. Find out more at mrs.org/foundation. Be sure to visit the exhibit hall this week and meet with over 170 exhibitors on the cutting edge of equipment and services. On Tuesday afternoon in the exhibit hall, enjoy a special MRS 50 Years break. Wednesday afternoon features a Sweet Escape candy break. And Thursday morning features Espresso with exhibitors. The hall opens on Tuesday, 11 a.m. and will be open from 10 until 6 on Wednesday and 10 until 1 on Thursday. Along with the exhibitors and treats, be sure to visit the MRS Springer Nature Publications booth, a free caricature from our caricature artist, and Sciences Art exhibit.
MRS engages members across generations to advance their careers and promote materials research and innovation. Whether you are seeking a new career opportunity, committed to creating more inclusive and equitable environments, or gaining recognition for educational and career achievements, MRS is here to support your career advancement goals. Free webinars and virtual workshops are offered year-round, covering a wide range of topics, from preparing for a job search, to getting your work published, to understanding unconscious bias, and so much more. Learn more at mrs.org/careercentral.
Earlier in today's episode, MRS President Sabrina Sartori talked to us about the international collaborations that took place in her term and how she hopes to see them evolve. Now let's dive deeper with leaders from AMRS to see what the future holds.
My duty is to manage the operation of the African Material Research Society and in the membership, as well as to look at a curriculum material science development and also the database, equipment database development, and also to link to industries. So as a highlight, we have launched the MRS, US MRS activity, a long-term relationship, or the workshop that we are going to have today is part of those activities, as well as the webinar that we'll be having next year. We also have a very important inter-university master program where Texas A&M and University of Michigan are part of, and the curricula is almost done and will be shared. So those are the highlights that we have so far.
I hope that the collaboration between MRS USA and AMRS becomes stronger through many people taking part in MRS in Africa, so that they can be aware of the opportunities and the collaborations that they can make with the people from the US.
You must know that the African MRS took its origin on a workshop that held in 2000 in Pretoria, funded by the National Science Foundation of the US and the National Research Foundation of South Africa, where it was an aim to develop material capacity in Africa. So this US MRS and African MRS is just looking into that direction. We hope that this will be able to really look into a US-Africa science and technology sustainable for long-term collaboration.
The collaborations that are already existing are that there are universities in the US that are taking care of our collaborations with universities in Africa. So there is a lot of the diaspora from Africa who are being hosted in US institutions like Michigan State, and some of the collaborations that help to train African students here in the US in different areas of research materials. And it is wonderful to understand that our work here with AMRS and MRS is to make sure that the Material Research Society, which is now 50 years old, is being visible in Africa through Africa MRS.
The group can continue to promote by developing, as I said earlier, joint events, and also helping universities to sign MOUs in order to facilitate inter-researchers mobility, student mobility, and also to set up scholarship for students in between the two countries for student exchange.
Thanks, Bala and Mansai, for the insight into the value of global partnerships. This brings us right to Juwami, an immersive program connecting materials researchers from across the globe.
My Juwami experience has been life-changing.
I think every scientist needs to know about Juwami.
I'm always astounded by the students. You know, they want to push a frontier, they want to take a step further.
These are actually the academic leaders of tomorrow on both sides of the ocean. feel like I know a lot about material science that I didn't even at the beginning of this, and also know a lot more about the world than I did at the beginning of this.
It's community. It really is community.
Friendship and collaboration, yeah.
When we sat down at National Science Foundation, our dream was to start a center in East Africa.
It's a place where people congregate. They'll be meeting the other people who are there, who are coming from maybe overseas and bringing their expertise. And
to me, it makes a lot of sense because it would now assist the students. Yeah, once the students have access to equipment, research usually becomes easy.
I have a son, and my son is Melchior. I really love him. I want my son to learn from me. For us to solve our problems, we need research.
Even though we're different, very culturally diverse, we can relate on a very important common value to all of us, and that creates this basis for a really good friendship, I think.
May Juami serve other students that it has served me. It was a 2 weeks wonderful experience. Thank you.
Now, we've seen amazing work in materials research and education from Qatar all the way to Kenya. Let's close out our world tour in Switzerland with the Coating Technologies Group at Empa. We'll see how they've developed world-class devices from solar cells to supercapacitors and beyond.
The Coating Competence Center is a technology platform where we develop solutions and where we demonstrate that we can scale up the solutions which we have developed in our lab-scale research facilities. And often we do that together with our industrial partners to demonstrate that it's also applicable for industrial use. We are always proud if we can pave the way for product innovations. Since 2016, we have, for example, produced new solar cells with efficiency records. We have enabled new battery designs for solid-state batteries. The mission of the center is to demonstrate that we are actually able to upscale what we have done on a lab scale and produce it in a way with standard processes which are also used in industry. We demonstrate that we can fabricate and produce the next generation of products which are necessary for meeting the demands of the society.
Well, we've journeyed all around the world today and gotten a fantastic glimpse ahead at what's to come this week. That's all for this episode of MRS TV, but there'll be so much more for you to see throughout the week. If you want to revisit today's episode or want to be the first to see tomorrow's episode, you can keep watching MRS TV on screens around the Hines and Sheraton, in your room at select hotels, on the MRS meeting website, and on YouTube and X, formerly known as Twitter. Tomorrow, we'll be back to look at some incredible advancements in materials research, straight from experts in sustainability, AI, and quantum computing. Until then, I'm Katie Brace. See you tomorrow.